2001: A Space Odyssey, directed by Stanley Kubrick, was one of the most bizarre, but one of the most brilliant movies I've seen recently and seen so far. I've never seen this movie before, so jumping into it for the first time, guys, it was very special. But today's video, I want to talk about really just my experience, watch this for the first time, give my thoughts about the movie itself. So yeah, let's get into it. One of the first things I want to say about this movie is that it was made way back in 1968. I mean, some of the special effects in this movie, or not some of them, all of the special effects in this movie are great, and they're all practical, and they all hold up. I think that's the adds more aura to the movie itself. The fact that these effects were practical pretty much. Just, Stanley Kubrick, as I said in one of my previous videos, I mean, the guy is fucking psychotic, bro, but he's brilliant at the same time, and you have to be kind of crazy to make something like this. This is not a normal movie. This is something that's groundbreaking, something that's so revolutionary and thought-provoking, and just, I want to get into it, guys. So first off, the opening moments of this movie, there's a black screen for like the first 3 minutes. I legit thought something was wrong on my Max account. I thought like, dude, like this shit's not working. Like I have to like fucking close the app and restart. But I thought like, I kept hearing the audio of the music. I'm like, dude, I think the screen's like messed up or some shit. Like why the fuck is it not showing anything? But it's literally part of the fucking movie. I think it was like to create like that space feel, kind of like you're kind of lost in space. That's what it feels like to be in space, just emptiness and the darkness. Like I don't know, but when I first saw the MGM logo like pop up on screen and you realize, oh shit, like that's part of the movie, like I was like, wow. Because honestly, it just creates that sense of like fucking like mystery and like, dude, like what the fuck am I watching? Like you're just hearing the score, you're not even seeing anything yet, and you already feel like into the movie itself. But I mean, obviously the opening title sequence is iconic. The theme song obviously is crazy. We've all heard it so many times already, but I mean, just I had heard that song and I didn't even know it was from this movie. So like I said, I didn't watch really any trailers for the most part. I just knew that this was a Kubrick movie. I love The Shining, I love Full Metal Jacket, so I was like, you know what, I gotta see more of his stuff. I wanted to check this one out. People have been talking about it a lot, so yeah. So that whole like opening first act or whatever, just with the monkeys on the desert planet, that whole scene is so crazy to me. There's basically like zero dialogue, right? You're just watching these monkeys and you see how like they're kind of in their environment. You see how kind of they're just like roaming around, right, the desert and whatnot. But I thought it was so fascinating. I mean, just again, the special effects. I mean, for 1968, guys, I mean, this movie was revolutionary. I mean, seeing stuff like this was not normal for the most part, right? So it's like just seeing the monkeys still, I feel like they still hold up. Just the costumes themselves, they look great. Just the mannerisms and everything, it's on point. I find that this intro for the movie, it's so like just brilliant because it kind of gives you like a foreshadowing of what the story is going to be later on. And I feel like just with the whole, like the monolith and like how they start kind of like looking at it, the monkey ends up picking up the bone, he knows he can use it as a weapon, then he starts attacking the other monkey with it. It's like it kind of shows like the evolution of like man, kind of, or it is technically how it says in that intro, right? But it's like you kind of see how like he kind of uses like the first weapon. And you get that shot where he throws the bone up in the air, then it cuts right to the spaceship flying over that planet. Dude, that's one of the best cuts, best transitions like I've seen in the movie, period. That was incredible. And a lot of the shots in this movie, guys, they're obviously great. You can see how this movie inspired other science fiction movies like Star Wars, like Interstellar, and like even Alien, honestly, Alien as well. Just this movie was so revolutionary, and the shots still hold up because it's practical. I mean, I don't even know how this guy fucking filmed this shit, guys. I mean, Stanley Kubrick clearly is a genius, like I've said, but just the level of detail that this guy puts into his movies, I mean, he is very just super detailed, and he's somebody that just demands perfections, multiple takes. He doesn't care. He's gonna get it the way that he wants it. I mean, just for a guy that was so ahead of its time, I mean, it's incredible. But anyways, I mean, the space shots in this movie are great, and that's what I love about this movie the most. Just, you could definitely see like how this movie inspired like a lot of the shots in Interstellar and like Star Wars and stuff like that. It just felt like there was just a lot of like amazing like shots in this. Now, a lot of people might say this movie is pretty boring, and for the most part, I think they're definitely right to a certain extent, but there's a lot of great things I love about this film as well, I feel like just the whole like AI taking over the spaceship is pretty creepy. I mean, it's kind of like, damn, like a lot of the shots, especially when the astronaut flies out, you just see like him in the yellow suit just like flying in space, and there's literally no sound. All you hear is the breathing. I mean, there's a lot of shots in this movie, a lot of scenes where you just hear like the breathing of the astronaut, and it's so slow paced, and you feel like just how slow these people move in space, and it's just like, I mean, I could totally understand why people will say this movie is boring. I totally get it. I feel like for the most part, the pace is super slow, especially kind of like after that whole opening intro. From that point on, basically till like we meet the main characters, I mean, it's pretty slow pace. There's a lot of just people in rooms kind of doing their routines, people like in spaceships, like sitting down, walking around the spaceship, talking to people, walking in more rooms, talking to people in more rooms. It's like, I can totally get why for the most part this movie isn't really like exciting in that aspect, but I was definitely falling asleep at some parts of the movie for sure. But once you kind of get more into it, once you get to like the second act or third act of the movie, it really starts to pick up in my opinion. I mean, like I said, guys, for this movie coming out in 1968, it's so iconic. I mean, for Kubrick, I mean, kind of think about it, Kubrick kind of came up with shit in the future. I mean, he thought this movie's called 2001, so it's like he envisioned what this would be like what the future would be like. I mean, and just for him to come up with like the iPad and like FaceTime and all this crazy shit that he kind of like created in his own head, really. Because I mean, you had to think about it, this was a year before they did the moon landing, so it's like it's kind of crazy thing that like he kind of envisioned like space travel and kind of what that was like before they actually kind of did it like fully. So I mean, Stanley Kubrick, guys, is a genius for a fucking reason. But you know, back to the story mainly, I mean, I love just especially kind of once the AI kind of turns on the guy, it's like you just feel like, damn, like there's so much shit going on. He fucking kills all the astronauts in hibernation. He fucking let go of that other guy, and that guy's floating in space by himself. You kind of feel like the weight of like what's going on, especially like whenever that scene where they're both talking in this pod and he cuts off the communication, but you can still see the robot just fucking like listening to him talking shit. He can read their lips. He knows that they're planning something against him. It's just so crazy. It's kind of crazy to think how like AI where it is now, like thinking what it was back then in that moment. It's kind of crazy, low-key. AI is kind of evolving. But anyways, I feel like definitely whenever he's like opened the pod bay and he's like, I'm afraid I can't do that, sir, it's like, oh shit, like bro, you know some shit's about to go down, bro. Like it's fucking crazy. I feel like once he kind of gets back into the ship, you start seeing how he starts unplugging his memory slowly, and kind of his voice starts to get like deeper and deeper, and eventually his voice just gives out. It's like, dude, this movie, I'm not gonna lie, guys, that definitely the first like 40 minutes after that opening scene is pretty boring. I thought, like, dude, this movie low-key might fucking suck, but like you kind of have to go through it. Once you kind of get to that past those boring scenes, I think it starts to be actually a good story for the most part. Honestly, the whole AI robot himself is just Al or whatever I think his name was called. It's just such an interesting fucking like character. I mean, the way that he kind of just controls this whole fucking ship, and that like he kind of like his kind of own intuitions like take over, like it's just very crazy to me. It's a very revolutionary film, guys. I'm glazing this shit a lot because it's fucking crazy, but I feel like for the most part, once you get to this point in the movie, it's so good. And then we get to that ending sequence, guys. I mean, first of all, the visuals are so fucking incredible. And I don't care that this was made like 6 years ago, guys. This movie still holds up, and it's still like super fucking detailed to me. Whenever this guy's like once he gets to Jupiter, and you just start to see like him like going through another fucking dimension, you see all these crazy ass shots. I mean, I don't even know how the fuck they filmed this shit. But the point is, guys, is that it looks fucking good, and it was so crazy. I mean, the last fucking like 20 minutes of this movie, like literally, like I was so in awe of like what the fuck I was watching. I mean, it's incredible. I mean, this is really like a special movie, and I totally understand it deserves all the love that it gets, because it's, in my opinion, it's an important movie for the industry. You know, without this movie, I feel like you don't maybe get like a Star Wars, you don't get an Interstellar, you know. I feel like you don't even get the science fiction genre in general when it ended up becoming without this movie. This is a very like crucial part. It's like the Bible for like science fiction movies, guys. This is fucking crazy. But obviously people talk about the ending of this movie a lot, and I don't even understand it yet. I'm just giving my thoughts about it, but I felt like just him seeing the version of himself slowly get older, and he looks back, but then he ends up becoming that other version, and he looks back, he ends up going into that version. Then he turns into a fucking baby, and then like the baby like levitates towards the monolith, and you just see the baby looking at Earth. Like, dude, like who, I don't even know what that shit means, but it's fucking peak, right? Like clearly, I mean, I hope that people can watch this movie and they can enjoy it for what it is. I totally understand. People can definitely, I feel like for the average person, they could definitely be super confused. They won't get it. But I feel like I go into movies with open mind. I try not to judge things. I try to like, you know what, like try to kind of just like embrace the movie, you know, kind of just like tap into that world, you know, like, and just allow yourself to kind of just enjoy it for what it is. Because, you know, although this movie is confusing for the most part, I feel like it's an enjoyable experience. And somebody who likes space movies like that, I feel like this is truly like the peak of it. I'm gonna give 2001 Space Odyssey 84%. Guys, if you're somebody who just likes a good movie, or somebody that's just trying to watch something new, you know, something that's different, definitely check this movie out, guys. It's a very good movie, and you know, there might be some boring parts, but for the most part, I feel like this movie is incredible and you should check it out. But other than that, guys, thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe for new videos weekly, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.